So you see, the Camino de Santiago isn't only in your legs, it's in your nervous system. Some days feels like the meditation, and then you hit the Vigo. Noise, movement, shipyards, city streets, and the inner peace gets tested really fast. So today we're gonna figure out something really simple. Are you a city pilgrim or you a silent pilgrim? Because once you know that, you stop fighting the day and the Camino gets a lot easier to enjoy.
And this episode is sponsored by the Camino Maps app. Some mornings on the Camino feel like the world is still half asleep. No quiet like a library, but like a planet before the notifications start. You're walking along the silent shores, beach on one side and the endless moving water on the other, and the vibe is so relaxed it almost feels illegal. Because this kind of Camino isn't about landmarks. It's not about getting somewhere. It's about the rare feeling of not being chased by anything. And at first, you don't even notice that happening inside you. You just walk. But after a while, something changes. Your shoulders drop, your jaw unclenches, your pace stops trying to prove something. And your mind, which normally behaves like a browser with 43 tabs open, starts closing the tabs one by one. You don't have to force it. The ocean does it for you. It's like the coast is saying, relax. I have been here longer than your anxiety. Sometimes the biggest healing isn't a dramatic breakthrough. It's a nervous system finally realizing, oh, I can slow down. You start noticing tiny things you usually miss. Footprints in the sand that disappear behind you like a Camino is erasing the past in real time. Little shells, seaweed patterns. The funny thing is, when it's this quiet, your thoughts stop being loud problems and start becoming normal thoughts. And then you get those moments where the Camino feels like the meditation without you trying to be the meditation guy. No mantra, no technique, just walking and breathing and listening to the word by the world. If you're the kind of pilgrim who needs silence to recharge, this is heaven. But the Camino, in its infinite wisdom, never lets you stay in one mood for long. Because just when you settle into the beach rhythm, just when you start believing the Camino is going to be quiet forever, the volume begins to raise.
Quick question for you. What kind of pilgrims do you think you are? Do you feel better in the chaos of towns or in the quiet of the trails? Tell us in the comments, quiet or chaos.
It starts subtly. A few more people on the path, a few more voices drifting past. You catch yourself stepping aside, adjusting, recalculating, and suddenly you're not just walking in its own bubble anymore. You're sharing space. And it's such a small shift, but your body feels it immediately. Your pace speeds up without you deciding it. Your attention starts jumping and you realize, on the silent coast, calm was automatic. But as the Camino gets busier, calm becomes a choice. And there's a big theme of today. Some days the Camino gives you peace, and the other Camino asks, can you keep it? And then we reach Vigo, but not the big city moment right away. First, the busy beaches. People walking in every direction, dogs, couples, families. Joggers doing that thing that they look like they're late for meeting enough, even though they're literally jogging on the beach. And this is where you feel the contrasts. Because 1 hour ago, you were walking in the moving silence. And a quick thank you to Camino Maps. If you walk in the Camino and you want to one place where everything feels a bit clearer, this app is genuinely a great tool. You can plan your stages, explore all the locations of the route, check accommodation, facilities, and historical info, and see route profiles with the distance and elevations, so you always have the better sense of what's ahead. And the live location tracking is really helpful too, especially on the variants and when you're entering bigger towns and want that extra bit of orientation. And one feature we really love, it's called Memory Album. you can quickly save your photos for every stage as you walk, and by the end of your Camino you will basically created your own personal Camino album, full of the moments you never want to forget. So if that sounds helpful, check out the Camino Maps app in the link below, and you will also find it on the Apple App Store and the Google Play. And the best part of it, it's totally for free. Enjoy. As we keep moving, the buildings start closing in. The streets change, the sound changes, and then the shipyards. Cranes, metal, work industry. Big structures that make you feel small in the very practical way. You see, that's Vigo, and it isn't trying to be cute. It's not performing for pilgrims. It's a real city with the real jobs and real noise and the real movement. And this is where the Camino personality tests really start. Because cities don't just change the views, they change your internal state. Your mind starts doing extra work. And suddenly, you're not just walking anymore, you're managing. Then we enter the old city and the energy shifts again. We drop our bags in a hotel and you can almost hear the nervous system exhale. After that we just walk around town, lighter, free and no pressure. This is the city version of Camino walking. No long trails, just streets, corners, buildings, little discoveries. And the dusk arrives and Vigo softens. The lights come on. The day's noise becomes atmosphere instead of a stress. The city stops feeling like a test and starts feeling like a place. And of course, we go to eat. Because no matter how spiritual the Camino gets, the most grounding thing you can do is sit down and feed your body. Food pulls you out of your head. It resets you. It reminds you that Camino isn't a quad. It's a day. And city days are good for that too. They reconnect you with human life, with warmth, with the normal joy. Not with dramatic joy of reaching a cathedral, but the quiet joy of eating something delicious after a full day of walking. And honestly, that counts. So that was Vigo, the day when the Camino got louder. And this is when everything starts to change. More people, more noise and more energy. And it's gonna test what type of pilgrim you are. So do you love the city boost or do you need the quiet villages to feel okay inside? Either way, there is no right way to do this. The goal is to keep walking and still enjoying it. So in the next episode, we'll talk about how to handle the crowds on the Camino without losing your mind or your joy. But if you're dreaming about the Camino this year, but something keeps holding you back, you have to watch this video here. Because this is one of those videos that makes you, that's exactly me.